In the deep silence of space, a lonely signal blinked again and again. It was weak, broken, and very old. Most ships ignored it. But not the Nova Wind. The Nova Wind was a small human exploration ship. It was old, slow, and not very important. But on this day, it was the only ship close enough to hear the signal clearly. Inside the control room, red lights flashed. "Captain, we're picking up something strange," said Mira. The young communications officer, Captain Darnell, walked over, his boots clicking on the metal floor. "Is it another pirate trick?" he asked. Mira shook her head. "No, sir. This is real. It's a distress signal. Very old and alien." The captain frowned. "Alien? From who?" "Unknown origin. But the signal is coming from an unmarked moon near Sector 9X. Everyone in the room became quiet. Sector 9X was a dead zone, empty, cold, and forgotten. A man in a dark coat stood in the corner, watching quietly. His name was Dr. Aaron Voss. He was once a top medical scientist on Earth, but now he was just a passenger on the ship, trying to escape his past. "Maybe someone's still alive," Aaron said softly. Captain Darnell turned. "Or maybe it's a trap." Aaron shrugged. "We won't know unless we go." The captain looked at the screen again. The signal blinked slowly, weak, sad. A voice inside it was crying for help, but no words were clear. After a long silence, the captain nodded. "Change course. Head to the signal." The moon was gray, silent, and broken. Craters covered its surface. The Nova Wind landed carefully near the source of the signal. The air was thin, and the light was dim. Aaron stepped out with the team, his medical bag in hand. "There," said Myra, pointing at a half-buried ship in the dust. It was alien. Smooth metal, glowing blue marks, strange symbols across its body. The ship had clearly crashed hard. The door was jammed. The team used tools to break it open. Inside it was dark. Lights flickered. The walls were covered in alien writing. Aaron's heart raced. This was no normal ship. They found the body of a guard, an alien warrior with silver armor, lying dead. Next to him, a sealed chamber. Aaron stepped closer. Inside the chamber was a young alien woman. Her skin was pale gold, her hair silver. She wore a royal-looking dress, torn and burned. A thin glass separated her from the world. Mira gasped. "She's still breathing." Aaron checked the screen. The life signs were low, very low. "She's dying," he said. "But I can try to save her." Captain Darnell hesitated. "We don't know who she is. This could cause trouble with alien powers." "She's a person," Aaron replied. "And she needs help." The captain gave a slow nod. Aaron carefully opened the chamber. The girl's body was cold. Her pulse was weak. He took out a small medical scanner and began working fast. Her blood was unlike anything he had seen. Her organs glowed softly. She was not human, not even close, but she was alive. "What species is she?" Mira asked. Aaron didn't answer. His eyes were on the scan. Something about her was strange. Important. He injected a stabilizer from his kit, something human, but safe. Suddenly, her body jerked. Her eyes opened, silver and glowing. She looked at Aaron. And spoke. "You human. She whispered in perfect English. Aaron froze. "You know my language?" he asked. She struggled to speak. "Help me. Or they will find us. And then she fainted. Back on the ship, Aaron connected her to advanced medical tools. Her heartbeat was steady now, but her condition was still serious. Captain Darnell entered the medbay. "She's no normal alien," he said. "The symbols on that ship, they match the royal seal of the Velaria Empire." Aaron looked up, surprised. "You mean she's royalty?" The captain nodded. "A princess, maybe. And if she dies on our ship, her people might think we killed her." Aaron stood silently. The weight of the moment sank in. He had just saved a princess, an alien one. And now, the fate of the ship, maybe even Earth, could depend on what happened next. Suddenly, the ship's alarm rang. Unidentified object approaching fast. Mira's voice called over the speaker. Cloaked ship, no ID. Everyone rushed. To battle stations. Erin stayed with the girl. She opened her eyes again. They found me. She said weakly. You have to run. Erin looked at her, and then at the window, where space now glowed red from the engines of an unknown ship. Something big was coming, something dangerous, and it was just the beginning. Darkness moved outside. The Nova wind. A cloaked ship floated. In the distance, silent, watching, inside the ship, the medical room buzzed with quiet alarms. Dr. Erin stood over the alien princess. Her skin glowed faintly under the white light. Her body was alive, but barely. Machines beeped slowly. Too slowly. Captain Durrell's voice came through the intercom. Erin, we may have a hostile ship near us. Make this quick. But Erin didn't move from her side. I'm trying, he whispered. But her body's rejecting everything I have. Mira entered the room, her face pale. She's from the Velaria royal bloodline, she said. I just confirmed it from the archives. She's Princess Auralia Velar. Erin turned. What was she doing alone in that ship? Mira looked at the princess. Maybe she was escaping. Suddenly, the princess gasped. Her body trembled, and the monitors spiked. Cardiac shock, Erin said, grabbing a stabilizer. He paused. None of the regular medicine was working. Her cells were too advanced. Her DNA was layered with something ancient. He opened a metal case, a small silver box with a red warning label. Forbiddance. Human nanoserum experimental. Use in case of absolute emergency only. This was the reason he lost his license years ago. This serum had once saved hundreds of lives, and then destroyed dozens. You're not thinking about using that, right? Mira said, worried. Erin looked at the dying princess. I can't just watch her die. He loaded the serum into a fine injector. If this works, it might change her forever, he said. If it fails, she dies anyway. Mira hesitated, then nodded. Do it. He gently pressed the injector into her arm. The serum flowed into her blood, glowing blue as it moved through her veins. Then, silence. 1 second. 2. Her eyes flew open. She let out a scream, a sound not from this world. Energy sparked from her fingertips, crackling like lightning. Her body lifted slightly off the bed, glowing brighter, and then she collapsed. The room was still. Erin stepped closer. He touched her wrist. Heartbeat. Stable, he whispered. She was alive. Hours passed. The unknown ship was still out there, but not attacking. Princess Auralia finally opened her eyes again. This time, she looked stronger. Her voice was soft but steady. You saved me. With human science, Erin smiled. Yes, not the legal kind, but it worked. She sat up slowly. Her eyes glowed a deeper silver now. That serum. It changed something inside me. She looked at her hands. Small lights flickered on her skin, like living stars under the surface. I feel everything. My senses are louder. Erin stepped back. You're still healing. Take it slow. But she stood anyway. She walked to the window, looking out at the stars. I never thought I'd owe my life to a human. Happy to surprise you, Erin said. She turned. Her eyes were serious. I was not on that ship by accident. Someone tried to kill me. Erin nodded. We guessed that. You mentioned someone was hunting you. She looked away. It was my father, the king. Erin and Mira froze. The king tried to kill you? Mira asked. Auralia nodded. He fears a prophecy, one that says I will bond with an outsider, and that I will replace him as ruler. Erin raised an eyebrow. So he tried to erase you. Auralia looked back at him. But I survived. Because of you. Just then, the lights flickered. Bridge. To medbay, the captain's voice echoed. The ship outside just sent a transmission. It's strange. Aaron moved to the screen. A strange message played. Return the royal trader, or face oblivion. Auralia closed her eyes. They found me, royal guards. My father sent them. To finish the job, Mira gasped. They're going to attack us? Aaron clenched his fists. Not if I can help it. He looked at Auralia. You said your body changed. Can you fight back? She looked down at her glowing hands. I don't know yet, but I can try. Aaron walked to the captain's room. We have a decision to make, he said. We either hand her over or we protect her. Captain Darnell stared at the stars outside. We just became enemies of the most powerful empire in the galaxy. He said. Aaron didn't blink. Then we protect her. Because if she survives, maybe we have a chance to change everything. Behind him, Auralia stood tall, glowing like a star reborn. The stars outside the Nova wind felt colder now. Inside the ship, silence filled the halls. A heavy silence. Full of questions. In the medbay, Princess Auralia stood in front of a mirror. Her silver eyes glowed softly. Lights moved under her golden skin like flowing stardust. She pressed a hand to the glass. The mirror bent, just slightly, as if space itself responded to her. She stepped back. What did he do to me? She whispered. Dr. Aaron entered, holding a small scanner. I did what I had to. That serum saved your life, but it also changed it, she said, voice calm. I feel connected to something older, something buried deep in my blood. Aaron scanned her again. The results confused him. Her DNA had shifted, not just healed. It had awakened. There's something hidden in your blood, he said slowly. Something ancient. I think the serum just unlocked it. Auralia nodded. Then the old stories were true. What stories? Aaron asked. She looked at him. The ones my people never speak aloud. About the first blood, the ancient royal gene that came from the stars. She paused. The first Velaria were not from my planet. They came from somewhere else. Some say Earth. Aaron's eyes widened. That's impossible, is it? She said. What if we were once the same species, separated long ago, evolved differently, but still connected? She walked to a control panel and touched it. Her fingers glowed and the panel opened, revealing a hidden compartment. Inside was a small crystal, floating and spinning. Aaron stepped closer. What is that? My mother's memory shard, she said. Before she died, she hid it from my father. He feared what was inside. She placed the shard into a reader. A hologram flickered to life. A woman's face appeared, gentle, glowing. She looked like Auralia, but older. The hologram spoke. If you are hearing this, Auralia, then he has turned against you. You are not just a princess. You carry the ancient blood. The blood of the stars. The prophecy is not a warning, it is a guide. You must find the human. Aaron stepped back. She's talking about me. The hologram continued. Together, you will unlock the path of unity. Only then can the throne be cleansed of the corruption that hides in its core. The image vanished. Auralia looked at Aaron. You were meant to find me. Before Aaron could answer, the ship rocked. Alarms rang. Myra's voice crackled over the speaker. Aaron, you need to come to the bridge, now. On the bridge, Captain Darnell pointed at the main screen. A new ship had arrived, smaller, darker, and faster than the others. It sent no message, no signal. It just hovered. What is that? Aaron asked. Assassin class, the captain said. Royal tech, stealth design. If it's here, it's here for one reason. Mira turned pale. To kill the princess. Aaron turned to Auralia. Can your powers stop it? She shook her head. Not yet. I need answers first. We have to go to the core. The core of what? The royal library. Buried inside my father's throne world, it holds the truth. About our past. About what I'm becoming. Captain Darnell frowned. That planet is heavily guarded. We won't get close without being shot down. Auralia stepped forward. I know a way in. A secret passage my mother showed me as a child. It was built for escape, but we'll use it to return. Aaron looked at the others. We don't have a choice. If what she said is true, then this is bigger than just saving her. This could change everything we know about humanity and alien life. The captain sighed. Then let's fly into fire. In the lower deck, the crew prepared the stealth pod. It was small, fast, and nearly invisible to scanners. Aaron and Auralia climbed inside. As the hatch sealed. Aaron looked at her. Why do you trust me? She held his gaze. Because my blood answered yours. The pod launched, a silent bullet through the stars. Below them, the throne world of Vela Prime shone like a golden jewel, but deep inside its heart, secrets waited in the dark, secrets that could tear apart an empire or unite galaxies. The stealth pod cut through the clouds of Vela Prime like a silent shadow. Far below, the golden towers of the royal capital pierced the sky, shining, proud, watching everything. But under that perfect surface, something rotten lived. Inside the pod, Auralia sat quietly, eyes closed, breathing slowly. Energy moved under her skin, no longer wild, but focused. Aaron sat beside her, checking their gear. His hands were steady, but his thoughts were not. He had treated patients in war zones. But sneaking into an alien palace with a royal fugitive? This was new. Are you ready? He asked. Auralia opened her eyes. No, but I have to be. The pod landed deep in the underlayers of the palace, an old access tunnel from the time before machines ruled the system. They stepped out into darkness. Tunnel was damp and cold. Stone walls, ancient pipes, the air thick with the past. This place is forgotten, Auralia whispered. My mother showed it to me once, said it was for escape. Now we use it to return. They walked for 10 minutes in silence, then something moved in the shadows. Aaron paused. Did you hear that? They stopped. The sound of metal scraping echoed through the tunnel. Suddenly, lights flickered. A small drone shot from the ceiling, too fast to dodge. Auralia reached up instinctively. Her fingers glowed, and the drone exploded mid-air. They know we're here, she said. We have to move. Fast. They emerged in the royal archive chamber, a massive hall filled with floating data crystals and holographic texts. It was beautiful. And silent. No guards. No alarms. Too easy. Something's wrong. Aaron whispered. They approached the central pillar, a huge glowing structure that contained the core archives, forbidden knowledge, family history, secrets of the throne. Auralia placed her hand on it. It scanned her blood and unlocked. The room came alive with ancient recordings, star maps, even DN, a codes. One file opened. Project Origin, Earth Vela genetic link, covered by Royal Order 171X. Subject: the hidden twin bloodline. Aaron leaned. In hidden twin? Before Auralia could answer, something slammed into her from behind. A black-armored assassin tackled her to the ground. Aaron reached for his sidearm. Too slow. The assassin struck again, a glowing blade aimed at Auralia's heart, but she rolled away, her hand pulsing with energy. She sent a blast toward the attacker, knocking him across the room. Aaron ran to her. Are you hurt? She shook her head. Not yet. The assassin stood, fast, deadly, and silent. No face, no voice, just death. He moved toward Aaron this time. The human wasn't a fighter, but he was smart. He threw a smoke charge and ducked behind a pillar. Auralia now. She summoned light, bright and sharp. The assassin stumbled. In the glow, Aaron saw a mark on his neck, a royal seal. He's not just any killer, Aaron shouted. He's one of your father's elite guard. Auralia growled, stepping forward. Then he dies as a traitor. She raised both hands. Energy surged from her palms, not wild this time, but controlled. The assassin froze mid-step. His armor cracked, his blade shattered, and with one final scream, he fell. Silence returned. Aaron walked up to the body. He came alone. But there may be more. Auralia nodded. She turned back to the central archive. The last file opened. It showed 2 names. One was hers. The second had no face, no image. Just a name, Project V, unknown twin, status alive. Aaron stepped back. You have a twin? Auralia looked shocked. I was always told I was born alone. Aaron stared at the screen. Your father didn't try to kill you because of fear. He tried to protect the throne from someone else. Someone like you, maybe even stronger, Auralia whispered. Then this fight isn't just mine. Just then, the wall exploded. More assassins entered. 6, fast and fully armed. Aaron grabbed her hand. Time to run. They escaped into the tunnel, a shard in hand, a secret burning in Auralia's mind. Far away, on a dark moon, a figure stood in the glass chamber, alone, silent, powerful. The figure looked almost like Auralia, but darker, colder. A voice in the shadows whispered, Project V is waking. Velar Prime glowed like a golden dream. From space, it looked peaceful. Elegant towers, floating cities, 1,000 ships dancing through clean skies. But Aaron Voss knew the truth now. Peace could be a mask. And this world wore it well. Inside the Nova wind, tension filled the air. The stealth pod had returned. Auralia and Aaron stood before Captain Darnell, holding the stolen data crystal. Mira watched from the side, scanning it again and again. It's real, she said. There is another like her. Auralia stood still. Her face calm, but her hands were clenched. A twin they hid from me. A secret weapon. Maybe a puppet for my father's control. Captain Darnell exhaled. If this is true, the royal court is more dangerous than we thought. Aaron looked out the window toward the planet. We're going down there. Into a place where we don't know who's friend or enemy. Wrong, Auralia said quietly. We know, we just don't know how many. The royal hangar welcomed the Nova wind with open arms. Velari guards stood in polished armor. A red carpet waited. Royal banners waved. It looked like a celebration, but Aaron noticed the silence behind the smiles. The stillness in the soldiers' eyes. Like statues waiting to strike. As they stepped off the ship, a tall man approached. He wore dark velvet, gold chains, and a smile as smooth as poison. Princess Auralia. The king welcomes you home. Auralia bowed her head slightly. And what about the human? She asked. The man's smile didn't change. Dr. Aaron Voss is an honored guest for now. Inside the palace, everything sparkled. Crystal lights, golden stairs. Music floated in the halls like perfume, but Aaron could feel the eyes, watching, measuring, judging. At dinner, the king finally appeared. He looked nothing like Auralia, heavier, older, colder. His voice was soft, but every word landed like a blade. My daughter returns with a human doctor, he said, raising a glass, a symbol of peace or rebellion. The room laughed politely. Auralia answered, calm and sharp, I return with truth, and truth is never rebellion, unless it threatens a lie. The room fell silent. The king didn't flinch. You've changed, daughter. Almost dying tends to do that. Aaron watched the room carefully, the courtiers, the guards. Every face had 2 sides. Suddenly, a servant leaned close to Aaron. A whisper, you're being watched. The king doesn't trust you. They're planning something tonight. The servant walked away before Aaron could speak. That night, Aaron explored the palace alone. The halls were too quiet. The air too still. He turned a corner and came face to face with a young woman. She looked like Yadat almost exactly, but colder, sharper, eyes like glass. "You're the human," she said. "They told me you were smarter." Aaron stepped back slightly. "And you must be Project V." She smiled, but there was no warmth. "I prefer the name they gave me last year, Varia." He studied her. "You're her sister, her shadow," she replied. "The better version. Trained to obey, built to rule, and now awakened." Before he could speak, royal guards arrived. "The king requests your presence, Doctor," one said. Their hands were on weapons. Aaron nodded. "Lead the way." In the throne room, the king stood alone. He didn't smile now. "Dr. Voss," he said, voice cold. "You've infected my daughter with ideas. Given her false hope. That ends now." Aaron stayed silent. "I should execute you," the king continued. "But the galaxy is watching, so I offer you a reward instead. A ship, money, freedom. Leave tonight and forget her." Aaron stared back. "And if I say no?" The king's eyes narrowed. "Then you die tomorrow, quietly, in your sleep, and no one will know." Aaron turned to leave. "Then I'll take my chances," he said. Outside, he found Auralia waiting. She had heard everything. "He gave you a way out," she said. Aaron nodded. "I didn't take it." She touched his arm. "Then we move tonight. To the vault." "What's in the vault?" She looked toward the tallest tower of the palace. "Proof of everything, including Varia, including the throne's corruption. And if we survive, we show it to the galaxy." Aaron looked up at the stars. "Then let's break the empire from the inside." Midnight. Velar Prime slept under a glass moon. But in the heart of the palace, two shadows moved through the hallways, silent, fast, unseen. Auralia and Aaron wore black infiltration suits. Thin cloaking fields flickered around them, making their shapes blur against the walls. They were heading for the vault, the most protected place in the entire empire. Not a room, not a chamber, a hidden core beneath the throne. "You've broken into palaces before?" Auralia asked, her voice quiet in Aaron's earpiece. "Hospitals, yes. Thrones, not yet." He smiled. She pressed a glowing symbol into a stone wall. A hidden door slid open with a hiss. "My mother showed me this once. She said, 'The real power is always hidden beneath the crown.' I thought it was poetry. I was wrong." They stepped inside. It wasn't a hallway. It was a vertical tunnel. A long drop into darkness. Aaron looked down. "No stairs?" Auralia smirked. "No mercy." She jumped. Aaron cursed softly and followed. They landed in a silent chamber. Cold metal walls curved around them like the inside of a great engine. Blue veins of power pulsed through the floor. At the center was a throne. A second throne. Smaller, older, covered in strange markings. It didn't face out to rule. It faced inward, into a vault of memory. Auralia stepped forward. "This is the source throne, built long before my father, before even our empire. It stores the truth for those brave enough to sit on it." Aaron scanned the area. No guards. No alarms. Too easy. Auralia sat. Her hands gripped the sides. Her eyes closed. And then the chamber came alive. Thousands of lights exploded around her. Memories, files, DNA, records, audio logs, star charts, prophecies, names. Aaron stood back in awe. She gasped. "It's all here." The truth revealed. The Velari royal bloodline did not begin on Velar Prime. It began on Earth, in an ancient space colonization experiment that vanished into a wormhole. Project Varia was created when the throne learned of a prophecy. One daughter will fall. The other will rise beside the outsider. The king chose to silence one and use the other. Auralia's powers were never just alien. They were human gifts, evolved through time, and the nanoserum didn't change her. It completed her. Earth and Velar were never enemies. They were family divided by centuries. Aaron stepped forward. We have to show this to the galaxy. But before Auralia could stand, a pulse of light hit the chamber. The vault door exploded. Varia entered, floating slightly above the floor, her cloak of black fire swirling behind her. I told them you'd come here, she said, voice cold. I told them the weak one would reach for truth. Auralia stood, not weak. You're just afraid. Varia's eyes glowed. I am what the throne made me, and you are the virus it failed to erase. She raised her hand. A psychic wave smashed into Auralia. She fell back, gasping. Aaron ran forward, but Varia froze him mid-step. You don't belong here, human. Aaron grit his teeth. Maybe not. But your empire does. He reached into his belt and threw the data shard from the archives. It hit the source throne. The system flared. The vault screamed with sound. Files exploded into the air, visible to all, broadcast into the security grid. The palace trembled. Upstairs, in the royal chambers, guards paused. Screens lit up. Across the planet, people saw images never meant to be seen. The Twin Project, the bloodline truth, the king's lies, and then the royal crest cracked. Back in the vault, Auralia rose to her feet. This is over, sister. Varia hissed. I was made for this throne. Auralia's voice grew louder. And I was born for it. She raised both hands, not to attack, but to unite. A wave of light spread across the chamber. Not destruction. Balance. Varia screamed. Tried to resist, but her powers broke apart. She fell to the floor. Breathing. Weak. Still alive. Aaron rushed to Auralia. Are you all right? She nodded. It's done. He smiled. No, it's just starting. The throne room was no longer quiet. Crowds gathered at the palace gates. Across Velar Prime, lights flickered. Screens showed everything, the truth about the bloodline, the king's crimes, the hidden twin, the stolen throne. And in the center of it all stood a human doctor, holding a single crystal chip. Aaron Voss. Once a disgrace, now histories. Fused. Inside the grand hall, the king sat on the high throne. He looked older now, smaller. The lies had peeled away his power. Auralia entered. She wore no crown, no armor, just truth and the people behind her. Varia walked beside her, not as an enemy now, but as a broken reflection. Her dark cloak gone, her powers dimmed. Her voice quiet. I never had a choice, she whispered. Auralia touched her arm. Now you do. The guards stood frozen. Their orders came from the king, but their loyalty had shifted. One by one, they dropped their weapons. Aaron stepped forward and placed the crystal in the throne's core. Final broadcast spread across the system. Auralia's message. I was hunted by my own blood. Saved by a human. I was told to fear outsiders, but they showed me truth. I was told to obey lies, but I chose to rise. This throne no longer belongs to fear, it belongs to unity. The king stood, trembling with rage. You think words will save you? Auralia walked to him, calm, strong. No, but they will save us. The court gasped as she placed her hand on the throne. The old systems unlocked. Light surged. Her DNA had matched before, but now it resonated. The throne accepted her, for the first time in centuries. It chose its ruler, outside. The sky shimmered. Velari ships powered down their weapons. Human diplomats, watching from nearby. Stations received the message. The war is over. A new government has formed, led by Princess Auralia Velar and her human advisor. Later, in the royal garden, Aaron sat alone. Auralia found him wearing the simple robe of her people. You didn't say goodbye. He looked up. Didn't want to interrupt your coronation. She smiled. It wasn't a coronation. It was a reset. He stood. So, what now? She held out a small device. The Council wants me to form a new alliance. Velari, humans, others too. A circle of peace, not power. And they want you to lead it. Aaron blinked. Me? I'm not a leader. I'm a doctor. Exactly, she said. Someone who saves lives, not takes them. He looked out at the stars. You really think this will work? She nodded. If we lead together, yes. He smiled softly. Then let's build something better than empires. As the twin suns of Velar rose, ships lifted into the sky, not for war, but for unity. Flags changed. Borders faded. For the first time in centuries, peace had a name, and it started with a dying alien princess. And the human who chose to help.